Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Hey, I know this is a bit of a detour from the last upload, but this has been sitting in my head since the other day, so I decided to make a short video talking about this topic. I asked my audience if they were okay with it, so if you don't like the video, then blame them. Just kidding. So, Nvidia showed off a new program that's going to be included with all those new shiny and expensive graphics cards, DLSS, which has been a thing for a good while now, but for the most part, it was an ignorable program that some PC ports were relying on for higher settings without compromises. I've heard negative thing about DLSS for a while, partially because it didn't really fix the frame rate issue in modern games. I also remember hearing YouTube channels like SkillUp rant about how some modern games were over-reliant on DLSS to not have to care about performance and other issues. Now, all of these points have been rendered moot because Nvidia released a preview for DLSS 5, and it's awful. For the low price of your firstborn child, you can get an AI to generate an out-of-place model that clashes with the in-game art style. In addition, you can blow out the lighting to make the environment look noticeably worse. Let me get this straight, Nvidia. In the pursuit of better graphics, we have hit the magical singularity point where the tech has become so good it went full circle and is now looking like shit? Actually, no. You see, AI, the solution looking for a problem to fix, is being shoehorned in here, and the simple act of rendering a model just isn't enough for tech bros. They want the graphics card to heavily alter a model with an AI-generated slop that, objectively speaking, has more detail, but it looks horribly out of place. As for the lighting, well, it's not realistic for some of these areas to look the way that they do, so I assume that the AI will comically alter the environment to look like real-life locations based on stock photos that the AI is trained off of. This ignores all of the context for things like artistic liberties used to make these areas look the way that they do. Because mood lighting is an alien concept to the average tech bro. But, you know, whatever. Blah blah blah, artistic attention and all that. You probably don't care about all that gay crap. So, I'll say this. At a basic level, if you liked Resident Evil Requiem or any of the other games shown in that Digital Foundry display, then you probably liked their art direction. And if that's the case, why would you put some crappy Instagram filter that heavily alters how it looks? Even if you think this doesn't look worse, would you recommend somebody play the game looking this drastically different as their first time playthrough? And on reflection, the part that's the most insulting is that this isn't even new. We've had graphics mods for as long as modifying game files has been around. This, open air quotes, new innovation, close air quotes, is ancient. Though with altering visuals, there's some context that modders have been allotted. By the nature of them being optional, they aren't trying to force it onto people who want to play the original experience. And the thing that makes Nvidia more insulting is that there's not even any intention behind this. With a crappy mod that makes a girl character look more traditionally pretty, ignoring the setting and all that, there's at least some personal taste being taken into account. This is just the AI making some generic version of what supposedly other people might like. A little while ago, some prudes online were trying to start some moral panic over a mod in Animal Crossing that made the female characters more curvy, but personally I can at least defend it by saying that this is what the modder and like-minded individuals would want to see a female character look like. At least there's personal taste when taken into account, so it's just kind of strange that this is being sold to us as a feature. That said, there are some positives to take away from this dumb event. The entire game community embraced in solidarity for a brief moment and clowned on this feature. I haven't checked the broader opinion on this thing to see if there's a defense force, but at most, it's probably a group of obnoxious contrarians, alongside the CEO of Nvidia. Yeah. As a fun little conclusion to this dumb topic, I want to make mention of the fact that Nvidia's CEO got viscerally pissed over people making fun of this feature. There was an attempt to explain how DLSS 5 works to dissuade people from being mean, but it only confirmed what people didn't like about it. By the way, isn't it telling that AI is so good that you need to insult the audience's intelligence by telling them that they were wrong for not wanting to buy something? Now, I recall seeing a group of people wanting to cut Nvidia out of their PC builds for the foreseeable future. While the idea of AMD sitting around and doing nothing and still making bank sounds very funny to me, I just want to clear the air and mention that this is only a feature in the 50 series of graphics cards. If you're getting an RTX 40 series card, or older, then hopefully you'll be safe. At least until some form of enshittification comes for older tech. Also, the demo they used in the Digital Foundry video used two 5090 cards, so it's safe to say that this is nowhere near good enough to make it to market. That said, I hope the AI bubble can burst soon so we can finally break away from this awful tech. Anyhow, thanks for watching, follow me on my socials for updates on future projects, and yeah, this is Reaper Ren signing out. Catch you in the next video. So, yeah, this is like a last-minute addition, since just as I was finishing up this video, some extra stuff decided to happen. The Digital Foundry YouTube channel, they responded to the backlash by trying to backtrack to mixed results, but, you know, at least they tried. The CEO of Nvidia, after getting clowned on by that initial article that I shared, decided to then shift gears immediately and say that he actually dislikes AI slop. Good luck trying to change that negative perception. And, in much bigger news, this is unrelated, but OpenAI, a completely different AI company, but still worth noting, had to kill off one of their own, like, apps. There was a video app called Sora, which was supposed to make AI-generated videos, entire videos, instead of just individual pieces that could be used in a YouTube video. They just completely shut it down. All support for it will be cut in the future, so yeah. AI is totally the future, you gotta get used to it and all that bullshit. Meanwhile, in reality, the bubble is about as close to popping as it can possibly be.